How's it going?
All right, mate.
All right, Rhino. How you doing, bud?
Oh, I'm not happy. I'm absolutely fuming.
Yeah.
Fuming. And you know what? You know why?
What?
Because it's got nothing to do with Tottenham Arsenal. It's Daniel Levy.
Yeah.
He's done it again.
Yeah.
He's done it again. You know, he's broken my heart. It's, you know, I'm sitting here as a Spurs fan. I'm sitting there updating my, news feed constantly, waiting for the Eze.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And here we go. Here we go to
Here you go.
Arsenal.
Just a bunch of clowns, mate. That's the problem.
Yeah, but you know what, Cundy, you're giving it a lot of waffle tonight, mate, and you're talking, you're saying about, who would you choose, Arsenal or Spurs? Yeah. It doesn't come down to that. Come on, mate.
Well, what's it come down to then? What's it come down to?
Well, we could have got this done a few weeks ago, and then Arsenal would have even been in the picture. But again, Daniel Levy's the one who's done that, and it's just not good enough. I'm just sick and tired of it. And you know what's going to happen? We'll get target C, target D. Tyler Dibbling will probably come through the door. That's probably
Good player, mate. Tyler. Don't knock him. You lot.
He's a good. I know, but he's no Eze, is he?
Ryan, can I just... I don't know if you're watching on YouTube right now, but Cundy's got a clown outfit
I
on.
can see him with his silly little red nose.
What's going on here?
Don't take it out.
Honestly.
What is going on here?
What do you look like? Cundy, what do you look like, mate?
Well, I look like Spurs.
You do make me smile, but you are the biggest clown. It suits you.
Oh, what a day. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Today, we just had to have a moment for all of the Tottenham fans that went through that saga over the last 24 hours. At this rate, you've got to feel for them. And in advance, I want to apologise for nothing, pretty much, because again, these lot are mugs. These lot have been running down our throats all summer. Eze. And I'm not going to lie, this saga has been stressful as fuck, bruv. But let me tell you something. Big club heritage got us over the line. You may have won more trophies than us in the last 5 years. But guess what? You will never be a bigger club than us. Never. How are we all doing, bruv? I can't even get my words out there. How are we doing? Oh my God. These last 24 hours, in fact, it's been less than that, right? Yeah, it's been less than bloody 24 hours. I've never seen Arsenal move like this before. Never. That's the first time I remember Arsenal getting a signing over the line within the last, how long ago was it? I think it was 7 p.m. Ornstein dropped the BOMBA. So we got the deal done in the space of like 5 to 6 hours. It's madness, bruv. It's actually madness. But yeah, we're here and we're going to manifest every moment of this. And the fact we've done it to them lot down the road. Oh my days. Let me take these off, man. I can barely see a thing. Oh my God. I'm buzzing. I am buzzing. We're going to dive straight into this. Make sure you are running the likes up if you haven't already. We will go through the chat later on. But firstly, this just brings a smile to my face. Because you don't know how desperate I've been for Eze over the last, how long now? 3 to 4 years. I've wanted this guy at my football club. And now we've finally got it done. As I said, we should have got this deal done ages ago. And the fact it's taken a Kai Havertz injury to get us over the line with this signing. But at the same time, Spurs, they lost, obviously, Maddison, and they've still not replaced him. So, listen. Like I said, big club heritage, innit? This is what happens when you are the biggest club in North London. You pull these sort of signings off. Eberechi Eze to Arsenal. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place between all parties. Crystal Palace to receive package in excess of 60 million as Eze preferred Arsenal over Spurs. Arsenal win race over Tottenham. Been advanced talks for days, but never sealed. Now, for me, this is the signing of the summer. I don't want to hear it. This is the signing of the summer. For 60 million for a player like Eze is an absolute steal. You can miss me with your João Pedros, even Gyökeres to some extent. But again, the expectation is almost there with Gyökeres. Like, I know 60 million on paper is a bargain for Gyökeres. I think for me, him and Gyökeres are the two signings of the summer. I look at Wirtz, yeah, great signing. I look at João Pedro as being good for Chelsea, but nah, that's the signing of the summer for me. To get Eze and Gyökeres for a combined, 120 million is actually a bargain when you actually fathomize it. But yeah, let's go through the chat. We got Tamina in here. Arsenal getting Morgan Rogers after Eze. Malik Fofana, Arsenal 2, and Rodrigo and Anthony Semenyo. I hope so. Morgan Rogers, I don't see it happening now that we've got Eze. I mean, there was one stage, I'm not going to lie, when Spurs were in basically the driving seat for Eze, I almost said Morgan Rogers, Eze. And I was like, I tell you what, if you can't get Eze, go and get Morgan Rogers instead. Although he would have been worth more, and I would have preferred Eze due to the fact, again, 60 million for Eze is a steal in today's market. But I would have just splashed the money on Morgan Rogers, to be honest. He can play as the 10, as the left winger as well, if we need to. He would have been perfect. But now we've got Eze, we don't need him. Semenyo, I would take, because we still do need a left winger, unless Eze ends up playing on that left-hand side. Eze getting the number 10 shirt at Arsenal. It could be a case, you know. And I think he will. You know. I mean, if Gyökeres is given the number 14 shirt, then there's an absolute guarantee that he will take the number 10 shirt. I mean, there's no coincidence that when Zubimendi got announced, they filmed a shot of him playing chess or something. So it was evident that Eze was always coming to Arsenal, never in doubt. Me and Josh definitely didn't speak on it yesterday that he was going to Spurs, and it's definitely not in the title as well. I might have to rebrand that, actually. Yeah, big up Plasma, by the way, my bro. I hope you're well. Well, in fact, we're all doing well. Pointless question, really. I think Toledo wants a few more players, I can't lie. I'm not going to lie. I'm labelled as negative on here, but we're actually one position short before I can start saying, yo, I think we've got a shot on the league, you know, this season. I really do. Big up Terrell as well, my bro. Jordan as well. That clip is class. Oh, my days. That to this day, it keeps cracking me up, you know. That is Tottenham for you. And it's pleasing to have them in the Premier League, you know. It's pleasing that they actually exist as well. That they will always be in our shadow, and they're in North London with us, so we can continuously take the piss out of them. Big up AJ as well. Please like the stream if you haven't already. 8 likes is a decent start. Let's try and get to at least, considering the people in here, I'm expecting 30 likes come the end of the stream. It's highly unlikely, but let's go for it. Why not? Spurs fans had to go through the Gibbs White drama, and now that Eze hijacked, they've just been little broed. Bro, forget Arsenal. They've been little broed by fucking Forest as well. Bullied. They were held hostage by that Mr. Maranaka geezer, bruv. I can't lie, I woke up feeling a bit ill today, then the whole Eze deal happened, and all of a sudden I'm better. I'm not going to lie, right? The moment Havertz got injured, I was like, right, Arsenal have a brilliant opportunity to do the funniest thing ever. Either hijack the Isak deal from Liverpool or hijack the Eze deal from Spurs. And lo and behold, we've done just that. Can you imagine we do the same with Isak now? That, oh my days, bruv. Let's be honest, if Edu was still the sporting director, he would have gone for Nkunku or Jackson on loan. You've hit the nail on the head, Plasma. If Edu was still here, obviously he's done a decent job at Nottingham Forest because obviously he's actually had his own way. He's bought obviously Douglas Luiz from Juventus. Obviously Edu was very keen on him when he was Arsenal sporting director, but we didn't get the deal done. Now he's got the deal done with Nottingham Forest. It almost begs a question, does Arteta really get the most power over anyone at the club? I think he does, you know. And considering he has pretty much most power over anyone, Berta has done a great job this transfer window because we've got to a situation where we are one position short from potentially getting over the line. So I'm very pleased at the moment. Knew the shades were coming. Big up Shift Mob each and every time. Big up AC always. Rory, big up, just came in to hit the like button as I'm on holiday. Yeah, I hope you are having a nice time in Cyprus. 37 degrees, bro. I mean, I can't bear to think of what is what's going to bring me in Portugal, brother. I'm not gonna lie, because isn't it? In fact, I want to know. Because I go Portugal Saturday. So it's about, 30 degrees. And Havertz, that's probably, I would say, the best thing Havertz has done in his Arsenal career. How can you do nothing for 2 years but still assist a transfer? I'm not going to lie. Hang it in the Louvre, bruv. Rory, there's no excuses from Arteta now if he doesn't deliver. Yeah, exactly. If we, oh my days, I'm telling you, if we cannot get over the line with this team, let me just quickly share my screen on the possible lineup that we could see going into this season, right? So Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly, Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Gyökeres, and Eze. Now, obviously, I'm presuming he will start on the left-hand side, and I think he will. So let's just throw a guess out there that he's going to be playing out on the left-hand side for Arsenal, with Gyökeres through the middle, Saka on the right. If you can't win anything with this starting 11, then the manager's a dud. I don't care what anyone says. He's a dud. Although, the only issue with Eze out on the left-hand side is because he will always be in this area. So he will always seem to drift inside. And obviously Lewis Skelly will do the same thing. So that is the consequences that we will face. I mean, our left-hand side is still pretty much non-existent. I don't think it will fix that problem we currently have. But at the same time, he will bring some adequate depth to the attacking midfield department. You think about it, Nwaneri's more of a box crasher, I would say. A player who would move into those pockets of space and unleash a shot when he has the space to. Odegaard is all about controlling the tempo, if you ask me, and he's more of a left eight anyway, in my opinion. And then you've got Eze as your playmaker. So it's nice to have a variation of attacking midfielders, because that's what we need. We need more competition in the attacking areas. Surely we win the double now. We've got another player who snakes Tottenham. Yeah, I'm telling you, Sol Campbell better be in that announcement video. Rory went Portugal last year. It was hot. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Finally getting some sun. But again, if it's 27 degrees over there, I mean, to be fair, I am staying in a villa, so it should be a lot cooler. Big up Lozano Fine Art, by the way. How would you line up Arsenal now? That's an interesting question. I will share my screen once again. So this is how I reckon Arteta will set up. How I would set up. So Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly. So yeah, that'll be the back four. Zubimendi, Rice, and I'd probably play. I know this may sound controversial, but Eze, for me, starts in midfield, and then you would have Martinelli for now anyway. I think Rodrigo, you could argue, should be playing on the left. I hope we get him on. If we get Rodrigo on loan, that is the 10 out of 10 window for me. But this is our strongest lineup. If you want to obviously rotate, just to show you what it would look like. So you have Kepa in goal. You would have Ben White at right back. You would have, where is he? Mosquera at right centre back. Kiwior, although again, I don't know whether he's going to be staying or not. If he is going to go to, I think it's Porto who's linked with, then yeah, it would be Calafiori for me. But for now, in this second team, he would start at left back, because again, I prefer Lewis Skelly to start ahead of Calafiori, and then we would of course have Norgard. Then we'll have Marino. We'll have, that's a difficult one. Nwaneri perhaps in that position, and then we'll probably have, where is he? There he is, Dalman on the right. And then, shit, I forgot Havertz. I forgot Havertz. Give me 2 seconds. Bloody hell. Change the number because of my OCD. We'll have Havertz up front, and then we'll have, where is he? There he is. Trossard on the left, ahead of Martinelli. So that would be the second team. We've pretty much got depth in every single position. And that's what we needed, because we got into a situation where, bro, we had to play defenders at left wing. I think Tierney had to play there at one stage. Marino had to play up front. Now we've actually got a squad. And this is the benefit of having it, because you've got depth in every position. I mean, Ben White at right back, I actually do predict he's going to be starting most games not most games, but for the rest of the year at least at right back until Timber actually recovers. Mosquera, of course, back up, centre back, but again, we needed right centre back cover. Kiwior, we'll have to replace him. If we're playing Calafiori at left back, then we need to replace Kiwior. And then the midfield is probably going to be like this, to be honest, in like a Carabao Cup match or a Champions League game. That doesn't mean anything. So, yeah, that's how I would line up. That's not the starting 11 for me. I would start in big games. Obviously not. win the league and cremate a statue of Havertz's knee. What about Calafiori? Yeah, Calafiori has actually done quite well in pre-season, and he played well against Man United, obviously scored the goal. So it won't surprise me if he starts at left-back to start the season, because obviously Arteta splashed £40 million on him. But I prefer Lewis Skelly. If Liverpool don't sort out their issues on defending and transition, Eze debut masterclass potentially. I remember when Palace played Liverpool. Remember that game where Liverpool lost to Crystal Palace at Anfield? They missed a boatload of opportunities, and Eze scored the winner to beat Palace at Anfield. And believe it or not, that was the game where we were laughing to the Emirates when we played Aston Villa, and we ended up losing. So he's got a good reputation against Liverpool, that's for sure, away at Anfield. So, yeah, and that's another thing as well. He will improve massively our transitional play. Whenever we're on the counter-attack, hopefully we'll be a lot better in transition, because not only we've bought a striker, we've bought an actual playmaker to provide something. And hopefully we'll play a lot more through the centre, depending if Eze plays on the left-hand side. And I think we're bound to have one more attacker coming in. But it won't surprise me if it's another defender, to be honest, if Kiwior ends up leaving. Rory, do you think Eze will get the number 10 shirt? Yeah, I touched on this earlier. I think Eze will get the number 10 shirt. If we're giving Gyökeres the number 14, I don't see how he doesn't get the number 10 shirt. I mean, potentially number 21, because that's the number he wears for England. But I can see him getting the number 10. I'm not going to lie. Yo, big up Michael as well. Is this a definite signing? Yeah, it's here we go. It's all done. Apparently the medical is going to be tomorrow, which is a positive. And if we get him registered before 12 p.m. tomorrow, then he will be in the squad for Leeds. But I don't think we will get him registered in time, although he could get unveiled. So that's something to keep an eye on. I want Rodrigo left wing, Saka right wing, Gyökeres. Oh my days, can you imagine? Rodrigo on the left, Saka on the right, oh my days, bruv. Yeah, I've seen that as well. They made him a mural, bruv. You didn't even need Eze. You only took him to keep us from getting stronger. I swear, most of this... Well, in fact, I'm presuming you're a Tottenham fan, but this is why you need squad depth at the end of the day. You need a squad. Man City had fucking Gundogan and Bernardo Silva rotating in that same position. So it's okay to have a squad. It's not our fault that you just can't pay up the money. You paid like 55 million, for God's sake, plus add-ons for him. If you would have just paid the full package, then you would have got the player. So it is what it is. Hold that. If we're playing Eze as a natural 10 in a 4-2-3-1, the midfield is complete. Agreed. Setford, Skelly, Salmon, White, Rice, Eze, Waneri, Madueke, Dalman, Saka. Is that your starting 11 for the Premier League games? Or is it just the second team that you would go for? I mean, it's a decent second team still. Although, why would you put Rice in there? Not sure. But, yeah. Oh, shit. I actually forgot about Madueke, you know. Does Madueke get into the second team? I don't think he does. Chat, where does Madueke go in this second team? If we're keeping hold of Trossard, then where does Madueke go? Does he go on the right? That means it's going to be either Dalman or Waneri in that position, if we're planning on playing Madueke out on the right. I don't know. You've just reminded me. That's my Arsenal England lineup. Yeah. I tell you what, we've actually got an England core, haven't we? We really do. We've got the likes of, as you said, Ben White. We've got Madueke. We've got Eze now. We've got Saka. We've got Rice. Yeah, it's coming along, the English core. Do you think Dalman could eventually play up front? Nah, I don't think that will be his game, to be honest. I've heard assumptions about Waneri playing as the 9, but I don't know about it, to be honest with you. What do you guys make of Ethan in the 10? Let me know. Because, not in the 10. In the 9. He's already a 10. What do you guys make of Waneri in the 9? Because, again, I'm not feeling that. I don't think he's got the attributes to play as a 9. I think his best position is either on the right or as the attacking midfielder. I think we're better off playing him on the right because we actually play to his strengths more if he plays out wide. But yeah, that's just me. Where will Eze play in the Arsenal team? At the moment, I would be playing him ahead of Odegaard. In my opinion, I think he, at the moment, is more, in terms of creativity, unleashing a shot when he has to. Like, he doesn't take as many touches as Odegaard. And yes, I know he's the captain, whatever, but at the end of the day, you've got to play your best players. And Eze, at the moment, is a better all-round player than Odegaard. It's just factual. Is he a better player than Odegaard? That's up for debate because Odegaard's been a great signing for Arsenal. 2 seasons ago, he bagged 15 goals. So on Odegaard's day and Eze's day, it's difficult to choose between them. But at the moment, I think Eze starts over Odegaard, unless Odegaard picks up his game, which we need him to. What's going on? Really helps with the homegrown status for registration as well. Yep. I've already seen a chant from he's coming home. Oh, he's coming home. He's coming. Eze's coming home. Yeah, the chants have been crazy, you know. Oh, Eze's fucking magic. He wears a magic hat. He could have signed for Tottenham, but he said no, fuck that. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. We can play. Yeah, that's true. He can also play as the 8. Arteta has done it once before. Odegaard and Eze would be a madness, but the thing is, he didn't do it with Ethan. So I don't know how he's going to do it with bloody Odegaard and Eze. He just doesn't want more creativity for some absurd reason. So the thing is, if he does play Odegaard and Eze, then he'll have to drop one of Zubi or Declan Rice. And I don't see him doing that, especially when he splashed 60-odd million on Zubimendi. Like, he's going to be starting, no doubt in my mind. But yeah, I'm just scrolling through Twitter here, and although that TalkSport clip was funny, I got to show you guys this, man. Oh my days. It's crazy. Football is crazy at times. You can never leave your eyes closed for this one. Always keep your eyes open because this is just quality. I ain't going to say nothing. Just
to a head and coming to a conclusion. The agreement has been reached. I think we're probably moments away from getting a here we go from Romano. We're probably not far away from getting a full agreement tweet from David Ornstein. It seems as though this is finally coming to a head and coming to a conclusion, and Eze will be a Tottenham player. And the very exciting thing is it could well be in time for Man City on the weekend, which would be fantastic news because he's going to be absolutely needed for that game. But what a signing. What a signing this
For Arsenal.
for Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, I'm buzzing. I've always thought this deal was going to go through. I've been pretty confident about it for the last couple of weeks, but when you hear full agreement has been reached between Tottenham and Crystal Palace, it just brings even more excitement inside into the feelings, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see him get going. I can't wait to see him holding up that shirt. I can't wait for the announcement.
Yep.
This is a massive signing, people. It really is a massive signing. And, a month ago, you never thought this was possible. After signing Mohamed Kudus and getting Palhinha over the line, it looked like Arsenal were all set to go and sign Eberechi Eze. All the reliable journalists were saying, yeah, Arsenal in negotiations, Arsenal this, Arsenal that. And I'm telling you now, Arsenal fans reading all these updates coming through, when he's finally holding up their shirt, there is going to be a meltdown in that fan base. And I am...
To an extent, he is right. But not from our fan base as far as I'm concerned. Apparently, Sorloth wants to leave Atleti for only around 30 to 35 million. If we're going for another striker, it'd be a bargain. Yeah, I agree. I think he's class. But yeah, back onto them two Spurs fans. Someone check on them. I beg. someone check on them. Eze is right-footed. I think Ethan is too similar to Odegaard in the aspect they could hopefully complement each other. Yeah, that is true. Ethan is left-footed, but at the same time, he has the decision to either drop Rice or Zubimendi, and I don't see him doing it. Here we go. Have a good laugh. I hope for you that it won't be a flop because the backlash will be terrible. I mean, that's what it is with Arsenal fans. Arsenal players nowadays. I mean, we're having it with Gyökeres. Like, every time he plays shit, he's having to hold smoke every single time. And the thing is, right, rival fans don't want to do this because Eze has to be one of the most likeable players in the Premier League. Not just because he's a class footballer, but he's got a class personality as well. And rival fans have got to a point where they're going to have to hate watch him. And I love it. And I'll tell you what, it's just a waste of energy because guess what? There's no point hate watching when you love the player already. So, the expressions rant. We were waiting for that. Oh, my days. You just can't hate expressions. Honestly, if he supported Arsenal, then, bruv, I wouldn't be switching off expressions whatsoever. I'll be watching him every time I go to bed at night. Trust me. For just pure entertainment. But obviously he's at Spurs now, so I don't watch him a whole lot. But again, you just can't hate the geezer. Malik Fofana, that's a decent shout. He plays on the left, don't he? Big up Ultimate D. I've been saying Rodrigo on loan with the obligation to buy all transfer window. I like the Eze signing to play the 10, not the left wing. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. Vamos Arsenal. Vamos. Who do you think will be our top scorer this season? Oh, you've put me on the spot here. I think now that we've got a creative midfielder, a proper creative midfielder in Eze, I reckon Gyökeres will bang goals. And even without Eze, I still maintain that Gyökeres will bang goals and it will take a bit of patience. But again, like we saw this same script with Isak. He doesn't necessarily hit the ground running, does he? But it's only the second half of the season where he really starts kicking on. So it's going to take some patience with Gyökeres. And he will bang goals, trust me. So I think he will be our top scorer. I think Saka will be a close second. I think Eze will bag a few as well now that he's in a proper team, a proper environment. No disrespect to Palace, because again, I know they're gutted that they're losing their best player, arguably their best player in their history, because he won them their first major trophy. And the thing I like about Eze, I mentioned it earlier about the fact he scored in that Liverpool game to deny their title chances, but he's a big game player. He scored in the semi-final of the FA Cup last season as well as the final. So he's a big game player. He will step up to the plate, and we need more of these game changers. It's nice to actually say for once Arsenal are starting to get some techie ballers in this team. You know, we've already got Dalman, we've already got Ethan, we've now got Eze. Saka needs no introduction. So you see, like, I think we are starting to, for once, and Arteta may have realised this as well, that, you know, we may need a couple more ballers in this team rather than fucking dual monsters. But that's a good question. I think Gyökeres, Saka, who else could pop up? Gabriel would definitely be up there. Yeah. That's my prediction anyway. I reckon Gyökeres will bang quite a few penalties as well, because I'm hearing that Gyökeres will be the penalty taker for this season, which is something I agree with, because again, your striker should be taking the penalties, right? And I don't think he's missed a penalty, right? Saka close second, Odegaard third. That's the way it has to go. Look at the numbers Elise's doing at Bayern. If Eze can put up similar numbers, then we've done a madness for 60 million. Yeah, I agree. I need a new intro, bro, after... Yeah. I'll try and get on with it after the stream, but again, I've just been so busy lately. Yeah, I'll try my best to do an intro, but again, you may have to let me know how you would like it. So DM me after the stream, and yeah, we can, or I can make it happen. Question. Rory, is Eze the answer for providing the service for Gyökeres? I think he is, because seeing as Eze will be drifting from the left, he will definitely pick out them Gyökeres runs 100%, more than Odegaard will, that's for sure, because Odegaard hasn't got the gist of playing with Gyökeres yet. Whereas I think Eze, the thing is, right, I don't even care the fact we haven't got Eze in before pre-season, despite, look, I think we should have got Eze before we got Gyökeres eventually, but I think because he is Premier League proven, he doesn't need to adapt because he's already settled in the Premier League. And that's another thing as well. Like, the guy's come back from an ACL injury. And the guy's been kicking off since. I reckon he's a better player than he was before he picked up that injury. So it's madness. It really is. But I think Eze is the answer. And I reckon, right, if he is planning on playing him on the left-hand side, he could be thinking of what Ranieri did with Mahrez that season. Because Mahrez isn't exactly a winger in that Leicester team, or he wasn't a winger in that Leicester team. And I reckon that could be a similar scenario to what we're trying to do with Eze. Because obviously it's not all about pace in football, it's about the brain. If you have no football brain, then again, you're not good enough, are you? Yeah, that's fine, bro. Rory should have got on Eze and Elise last season, bro. Yeah, Elise would have been perfect for that right wing position to provide competition with Saka. But again, would Crystal Palace have allowed both Elise and Eze go in the same window? I agree, we should have got at least one of them, but I don't know whether Elise and Eze would have happened in the same window, especially when, you know, Palace, Arsenal, both are from London. Like, I don't know. That's a difficult one. We've had so many years where the club has fell short. We needed a window with 7 incomings, and Berta has delivered. Exactly. Like, I see so many fans cussing Berta out. Like, oh, what's he done this window? He's just brought us 7 flipping players, despite Arteta being, you know, the dictator of all of it. He still managed to bring in 7 players with 3, you could argue, starters in this first team. It's not like we need flipping, a new starting 11, right? Because we've got good players. We should have won a trophy by now, but we just need to sprinkle a little bit of stardust here and there on certain positions that we desperately need. And we've done that with the striker. We've done that with Eze. We just need that Rodrigo type. Or a Lookman. I would take Lookman in a heartbeat. If you give me Lookman tomorrow to finish our window, then that would be 10 out of 10. Because Lookman's a baller. Inter have pulled out the deal. So this is our opportunity. And it's looking likely that his next move will be the Premier League. Because again, he may have unfinished business, although he was terrible in the Premier League. However, he's probably just had the best season he's had in his career. So it's a no-brainer for me. Either Rodrigo or Lookman, you've got to go for either one of them. And then that is a 10 out of 10 window for me. Word is that Eze will play tonight for Palace. I doubt that because his medical is tomorrow. He should play on Saturday. Yeah, but it's about obviously the registration and whether Arsenal will speed that up. If we speed the registration up, then he should be there for the Leeds game. But parts of me think that he will be unveiled on Saturday, and then he'll be making his debut against Liverpool next week. Question: do you think Guehi would be a better backup for Saliba or Gabriel than Massacre? Massacre, I don't know. Mosquera is right-footed, ain't he? Despite him playing on the left-hand side for most of his games last season for Valencia. I've actually been quite impressed with Mosquera in pre-season. Guehi would be better. But again, like he will be starting, bro. Like he starts for England and he starts for Crystal Palace in a back 3. I don't know whether he would be willing to play second fiddle with Gabriel. Pause. But I don't think he will. He'll be willing to just be a rotational player. I really don't. But I like Guehi. I think he's a decent centre half. Only Mikel Arteta can stop your team from winning trophies. Now, I agree. I mean, if we don't win trophies after this season, then I don't know what to say. Because we've got the defence, we've got the striker, we've got the midfield with a bit of balance here and there. But again, it's I'm still looking at it like I think we could do so much more in that midfield with how it's set out. Not necessarily the players, but the way it's set out. As I keep saying, Rice isn't an 8, so he should be playing as the 6. So, for me, you go for Zubimendi and Rice as the double pivot. That's what you should be going for. One of my friends who's a Spurs fan said Daniel Levy probably two-footed. Two-footed Havertz. Apologies for the spelling. No worries. I can definitely see what you're saying. So yeah, but yeah, guys, we got, of course, Eze over the line. I believe Fabrizio tweeted something else. I might as well share it in case you guys have just tuned in, because the medical is tomorrow. So not only we could get this deal done, but we could get this announced within the next 48 hours, bruv. And here's a question for the chat, by the way. Should I do a watch-along for the Palace game tonight if Eze's in the squad? If Eze's not in the squad, then obviously it's flipping pointless. But should I do a watch-along? What are you saying, chat? What are we saying? Do we do a watch-along for the Palace game? We got Mark. You think that the coach will adapt his game plan for Eze? I hope he does. I mean, there's no possible way that he cannot get the best out of Eze in his team. Because at the end of the day, I've seen him play left wing for England and he still balls out. Like, I remember when he produced that nutmeg against Reece James, and that was on the left-hand side. So, look, despite him not playing left wing, he is much better than Martinelli right now. He's better than Trossard. He's better than Madueke on the left, that's for sure. So, I want Cyprus as a white man coming back looking... That's fucking... Oh my God, that's crazy. Oh my days. Yeah, I'll check it out after this. Not a watch. Yeah, true. A scouting mission. Eze's going to play so you can say goodbye to the Palace fans. I mean, apparently Hand of Arsenal have actually tweeted, I believe, that it's actually still unsure. Sorry, Palace are unsure about whether Eze will play tonight. I don't know. Do it, bro. Yeah, I will after the stream. Obviously, I can't do it now once I'm scrolling through the chat, innit? But I will try my best to get on with it. But yeah, guys, this is what I want to share my screen on before we eventually wrap up. So Eberechi Eze's medical at Arsenal has been booked from Friday after tonight's game with Crystal Palace. So yeah, you're probably right, AFC always. I think he will play tonight for Crystal Palace for the last time, and he will then join Arsenal. I just bloody hope that we get him announced by the end of this week. Because, again, the lift, oh my days. Can you imagine the roar once he eventually comes out and announces himself as an Arsenal player on that Saturday evening, bruv? Oh my God. That would be pure euphoria. I've never had this much dopamine over a transfer. And at the moment, Spurs fans have to cope. They have to cope, bro. But yeah, guys, what can I say? Winners win, losers explain, bruv. Losers explain, and Spurs have lost Gibbs White and Eze in the same window. You're not going to see a more bottle job transfer window than Tottenham. I mean, look, we love to talk about the fact Newcastle, bruv, Newcastle are getting rejected left, right and centre. Tottenham, however, are the Bonnie Blue of the Premier League, bruv. They're getting slapped everywhere they go, not only on the football pitch, but off the pitch as well. And I'm loving every minute of it. They can flex their European silverware all they want. But at the end of the day, right, why do you see professional footballers own retro Arsenal shirts in the past? Why do they never own Spurs shirts? Oh, yeah, because we are the bigger club. We are the third or fourth biggest club in England. Thierry Henry, arguably the best, the GOAT of the Premier League. That's why most professional footballers are Arsenal fans. And there's a reason why none of them support fucking Tottenham. Because back in, our day, at Wenger's peak, they were irrelevant, bruv. They were irrelevant, and they're still irrelevant. I mean, after European heritage, right? Winning that Europa League, how about you win 2 Prem titles at our ground, and then we can start talking, yeah? Because the only thing that's white in North London is the powder that keeps shaking. Or the pyro. Yeah, the pyro. That's the only thing that's white in North London. The pyros they bring to every match day. Especially when, it's a top 4 race and, ooh. Because in the past, it wasn't all about trophies and now it is. So, which one is it, bruv? Unlucky. If Eze plays and gets injured for Palace, I think Arsenal fans could crash Twitter. Oh, if he gets injured, I mean, I kind of want him to come off the bench, to be honest, because it's a Conference League qualifier, for God's sake. Play him for the second half. Although, am I willing to wait 45 minutes? No, not really. This is supposed to be the Eze watch-along, bruv. Sol Campbell once said he always wanted to win a league title at White Hart Lane, so he left and joined us. Exactly. Why did their own captain leave Tottenham to join Arsenal, bruv? Why is that? To this day, these men are still having PTSD over it. So, unlucky. When players sign for Spurs in 5 to 10 years, they'll talk about the limbs they had after. Yeah. But, yeah, guys. I don't think there's much else to speak on, really. Eze is done. We could briefly speak on Kai Havertz and what's going on there. Obviously, he's injured. Apparently, the reports are suggesting that he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. So it's not going to be an ACL, which was a relief at first. Because, again, we don't want to lose any more forwards going into this new season, that's for sure. And maybe this could encourage Arteta to actually play Gyökeres for the full 90 minutes instead of bringing on Havertz. So, listen, it's a good day to be an Arsenal fan. I'm not going to lie, right? I'm not going to lie. It drags me through hell. That's what I will say. I mean, 48 hours ago, we were talking Eze to Spurs, Havertz fucking injured, shite performance at Old Trafford, players are not performing, manager in question, and then we sign Eze. Like, here we go for Eze. Like, this fucking football club, bro. Tottenham fans, I'm going to be singing on the karaoke. Stop crying your heart out. Oh, mate. What about the what would you call it? The Hello Goodbye song, yeah. The Hello Goodbye song from the Beatles. I don't want to get a copyright strike, so I'm going to turn this right down. Hold up. Fucking hell. You say goodbye and I say hello. Say goodbye and I say hello. Oh my days. But man begging we win a trophy this season, and I hope we are in Budapest come May. Presuming you're another Tottenham fan. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We will see, innit? We will see, because as far as I'm concerned, the only two players you've signed that actually get into that first team of Tottenham are Palhinha and Kudus. That is it. And that's a team that finished 17th. Whereas we didn't need 7 players to come in. Although, despite the lack of squad depth we have, UCL final for the Arsenal and Budapest. Oh, bruv. We're still waiting for that, aren't we? I wasn't born the last final. Well, I was, but the last Champions League final we were in, I wasn't born. Eze was never going to join Tottenham. I believe this was always going to happen. Yeah, as long as we were in the race for him, I always anticipated that he was coming to Arsenal. There was no doubt in my mind that he was coming. No doubt. But it's obviously about, whether or not Arsenal are in for the player as well. Like, let's just have it right. If we are in for that player, there is no way players will be looking at Arsenal going, "Oh, Arsenal Football Club." Nah. They'll be looking at us going, "Yeah, big club. London's a nice place to live. I'd love to bring my family over across. Brilliant." And they're in the Champions League as well. So I've got a point to prove here because we've not won anything in 5 years. So, listen. I knew Eze was going to come to Arsenal as long as we're in the race. But every time I say we're not getting this player is because we're not ambitious enough for these sort of players. And it's nice to see that we've actually got a well-rounded starting 11 now. We've got a lineup that can actually get over the line. If you get Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly, Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Gyökeres and Eze, if you cannot get that over the line, then you need sacking off the spot. Even if it's a Carabao Cup, if you cannot win a trophy with that starting 11, then mate, you need to be sacked on the spot. Your head needs to be outside the Emirates on a stick, fam. You need to call it quits. You need to call it quits if you cannot get over the line. Arteta, give us a sunny day at Wembley and a trip to Budapest. One major trophy sends this club to the stratosphere. Listen, if we win the Carabao Cup this season, it will be vital because that team he has spent 800, 900 million pounds on has actually tasted silverware. So winning the Carabao Cup will be beneficial for this team because we'll have that feeling of winning trophies again. But at the moment we don't, so we can't get over the line. So listen, I'll be aiming for all four fronts. And this is what we need, a squad to compete on all four fronts. Exactly, the roller coaster we had. Trossard, that's another one. The pay rise. Havertz is injured. All has been forgiven in the name of Berta. I mean, considering this is his first transfer window, right? I mean, it's pretty much a sink or swim situation. He's been thrown right into the deep end. And basically, he had to succeed. Like, bro, it wasn't like he had the January transfer window beforehand to have a feel of what it's like to be under Arteta's dictatorship. He's come in this summer and he's succeeded. As long as we bring in a left winger, obviously. 14 likes. Big up to all of you that are locked in still. Rory will throw the League Cup and FA Cup in the bin. We all know it. Yeah, probably will. But again, from my point of view, I'll be going for all four fronts. Yeah, Trossard on 220. What is that all about? Basically, what you're doing there is you're sabotaging pretty much his value. So we're hardly going to get anything for him if we end up selling him in them 2 years. It's a joke. If I'm honest, if Arteta wins a cup double, I will celebrate, then give him his P45. I disagree with that. I think if he does win a double, then you've got to keep the man because you've won 2 trophies, right? You've won 2 majors. If he doesn't win anything, obviously he goes. If you win a Carabao Cup and you finish like 20 points off Liverpool, Man City, whoever it may be, then yeah, still, I would probably be sacking him. But I think if he wins a cup double, I would be happy with that. That is still a successful season. But again, that's your opinion, isn't it? But for me, I think a double would be enough to keep him in the job. Considering went from winning nothing, right, title challengers, then you win a double, you'll be mad not to keep him. But then what you've got to do is kick on, right? You've got to win something the next season. pretty much. You can't then win a double and then not win anything for another 5 years and now my job's safe. No, you've got to win something the following season. That's the way it has to be. Bro, there are many young goons here who need to experience being in the Champions League final day out. Yeah, it's peak for us young'uns, you know. I'm sorry it's the Prem or Champions League for me, bro. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, but I just think a trophy's a trophy at the end of the day. The FA Cup is a major. So if you win that and the Carabao Cup, then it's a successful season. Like, you need to keep him on that basis and then give him a couple more players here and there. And then it's also beneficial as well to players who we want to keep at the football club. Would you rather win nothing and then just allow Saliba to go, or would you rather win a Carabao Cup and then keep Saliba? Of course, like, I think there's a better chance of him actually staying if we end up winning a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup this season. So, yeah, a lot of you are saying one major honour and a cup bare minimum. Yeah, I get it. Like, he's got to a situation where we've got to win a Premier League or a Champions League. But if we are right in that race for the league title, you finish 2 points off the league winners, and then you still win a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup, then to me, you'd be mental to sack him. Like, if we had the same season as we did in the 23-24 season, similar to that, 2 points off Man City, but we still won something, then I'll look at it and go, I tell you what, we've had a successful season. That is, for me, a 9 out of 10. But of course, we didn't get over the line with the Premier League, innit? Because that is major, ain't it? Yeah, I agree. Trophies over league position any day, unless you finish third. Unless you finish first. Now that Trossard is staying, would you sell Martinelli if an offer came? If you get 60 million for him, that's, for me, a rip-off for whoever is coming in for Martinelli. I'm hearing from that comedy account that apparently Saudi are willing to offer 80 million. I mean, 80 million for Martinelli. I mean, I love Martinelli, but yeah, take the bag and run. Take that bag and run. And Trossard's probably a better impact sub anyway than Martinelli, because Trossard actually has qualities to his game that Martinelli doesn't. And it's a shame. However, Martinelli can utilise his pace better if he's coming off the bench. So it's an interesting one. But yeah, guys, that's where we are going to wrap up. We've been doing an hour and 10 minutes pretty much. Let's be honest, there are not many better teams than us, even in Europe. PSG tie, we can go toe-to-toe with Europe's best with a half a fit Saka and a Marino leading the line. To be honest, I couldn't care less about, there's not many teams better than us in Europe. I want to be the best. In fact, I don't want to be one of, I want to be the best team in Europe. That's where I'm at. And I don't really think we went toe-to-toe with PSG whatsoever. I think the first leg, we should have been at least 3-0 down going into the second leg. I'm not even going to lie. Yes, we had some decent chances and Donnarumma went on a mad one. And we could have scored a few goals. But I think PSG thoroughly deserves to go through. Like, they were the better team over 2 legs. 100%. Who would you play left wing against Leeds? Martinelli, Madueke, or Trossard? I think Madueke, to be honest. Although I don't really want him to play at left wing in the considerable future. But I think Martinelli, low blocks, no. It doesn't benefit him whatsoever. Trossard could be a shout, but I want to give Madueke his first start, to be honest, because I think, again, he could be the key to how we unlock these low blocks, as well as Eze as well. That's another thing. Also, a UCL semi-final bare minimum. Unless if we win something, then yeah, I disagree with that. I think we should be winning that competition if we have nothing else to play for, pretty much. But yeah, guys, we've been going on for about an hour. Is there anyone that we can redirect to who is live at this moment in time? Josh is live, so we'll probably send you over to him, or do we send you over? Nice one. Why is it every time fucking Talk Studio, bruv? This fucking Talk Studio, you know? Every single time. Had to kick me off eventually. Stupid. Oh, gosh. This needs its arse kicking, I'm telling you. Let's see this. Today would be nice, computer. Days, my flipping phone's going off like a women's vibrator, bruv. Right, there we go. We'll send you over to Josh and Al. Make sure you spam Red Raid in the chat. How many likes have we actually finished the stream on? Let's have a look. Jesus, that's loud. 15, I'll take that. Make sure you are running the likes up on your way out. Appreciate everyone tuning in, by the way. It's been, yeah, great show. I hope you have a nice time as well on the boat ride as well. Big up the Arsenal Alliance as well. And over the moon, I think everyone is at the moment, considering, you know, the circumstances before we eventually hijacked this deal. And I was saying all window, pretty much. When was the last time we actually hijacked a deal? When was the last time it happened? But yeah, on that bombshell, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.